The job offer came exactly at the right time. I recently lost my table desk job. It was the sole source of my earnings. I was desperate in search of a new job. The job I was offered was the position of a lighthouse keeper on a remote island which was present on the coast away from the city. As it was away from the city, it was best in my regard as I was seeking solitude to clear my mind. I was excited for my first day at the job. I gathered my things from my previous workplace. I have to appear for my first day of work tomorrow. I made early preparations so that I could appear at work on time. The next morning, I took my car and went towards the island. After a 2-hour drive, I finally reached there. It was a beautiful island with a stunning coast. The lighthouse was situated on the corner of the coast at a very prime location for harboring ships. I was too early at work. The previous lighthouse keeper, Thomas, showed me around before returning to the city. Thomas looked nervous and disturbed. He left the place with some disturbing advice. He said, "You are at the wrong place." I dismissed his words as a product of a lonely man's thoughts. I gathered my things and took my place in the lighthouse. Everything was visible from the room of the lighthouse situated in the heights of the sky. The first few nights were very peaceful. The sound of the waves in the sea had a soothing effect on me. But as the night passed, the atmosphere became a little bit disturbing. I begin to realize that I'm all alone on this vast deserted island. If I had any kind of emergency, no one would be here to help me. I took my book and sat in the light of the room to divert my mind. While I was reading, the light in the room flickered and suddenly it burst. The glass pierced my skin. I got rid of the bleeding and tried to soothe myself. After some hours, I saw a ship on the horizon of the sea. I gave light signals to the ship so that it could land safely on the coast. The ship gave a very scary look. It seemed that the ship was drowned in the sea for years and immediately came out. The ship harbored safely at the coast. Tomorrow morning, I gave the report about the ship. The ship had unloaded a lot of big boxes on the coast. The boxes were transported to the safe house near the coast. Nobody was allowed to visit the safe house as it was super private. The very next night, I saw the same ship cruising on the shores. This time, the ship was broken from various angles. I was shocked by fear and asked myself, how can such a ship be operable? I said to myself that something was wrong. When the ship came along the coast, I immediately went to visit the ship. After the giant boxes were unloaded, I saw an old man coming out of the ship. The old man gave a very frightening look. He gave me a slip which was a permit for landing at the coast. He talked to me nicely. I ignored the thoughts looping in my mind and went back to my post. Tomorrow morning, I gave the report of the ship to the owner. I gave him the permit slip. When he saw the name written on the slip, he started to shiver. He was about to faint out. I asked what was wrong. He said to me that the person with the name and picture has been dead for the past 10 years. That took my breath out of my lungs. I was sweating heavily. One question was circling in our minds. What is there in the boxes the ship unloaded? We immediately ran towards the safe house. With trembling hands, I opened the door of the safe house. When I tried to open the boxes, a strange demonic roar filled the place. I mustered up the courage and opened the box. To my fright, the box was full of dead bodies. I was about to faint after watching this. The words of Thomas came into my mind, but it was too late now. We informed the police and immediately left that death pit. The lighthouse was sealed as it was attracting haunted ships. This incident affected my health a lot and surely will haunt me for years to come.